Welcome to your instructional tour of the Cleanse contract. Before we get started, you want to familiarize yourself with your mobile base. First up is the equipment crate. Go ahead and walk up to it, then interact with it using the left mouse button. It's worth noting that the left mouse button is used primarily to interact with objects in the world. Inside the crate, you'll find a variety of different equipment that is used to help in your journey of identifying the ghost characteristics and favorite room. To close the crate, you can press the escape key. It's time to talk about the Spectral Affixer crate. In its deployed state, this item is the key component in cleansing the contract location, but we'll get more into that a bit later. This item is heavy and requires both hands to carry. Normally the affixer is fully charged before starting a contract. However, the one you have now needs a bit more juice. With the affixer in your hands, walk up to the charging station and interact with it. While in the contract, you have access to your personal TOS cell phone. Go ahead and look at it now. The cell phone can serve many purposes. The most useful is its flashlight. This can provide a light source while you use your equipment in your other hand. Keep in mind that ghosts are generally attracted to energy emitted by the light. The phone has some applications that can be quite useful, as well as a heart rate monitor. Ghosts feed off anxious hunters, so it's wise to keep your heart rate under control. Take a moment and familiarize yourself with the phone's interface now. Great! Now you should be familiar with your mobile base and cell phone. Next, we'll learn about the characteristics that you'll be searching for. Head over to the Evidence Sample Boost to get started. EMF stands for electromagnetic fields that emit wave energy. The higher the EMF reading, the higher the evidence level. Thermal evidence. Ultraviolet stains are markings left from a ghost. The markings require the use of ultraviolet light to become visible. These stains can sometimes be hard to spot. However, the general rule is the easiest to spot. Radiation, also known as spectral radiation in the paranormal community, manifests as fluctuations in ambient radiation levels. While the levels aren't directly harmful, higher radiation amounts indicate a higher evidence level and caution should be exercised. The radiation energy is emitted. The writing evidence involves mysterious inscriptions or symbols appearing on a blank surface. The types of inscriptions have been categorized into levels for easy identification. The audio evidence encompasses any unusual sounds captured that indicate a ghostly presence. Such auditory clues are often captured via electronic devices with prompts from the ghost hunter, such as "Hello" or "Can you give me a sign?" Now that you have learned about all the different types of evidence, we can move on to the first special equipment. The primary use of the spectral affixer is to bind to ghost characteristics. A characteristic is defined as an evidence type in the highest recorded level of that evidence. During an investigation, you may encounter various evidence levels. However, The primary use of the spectral affixer is to bind to ghost characteristics. A characteristic is the primary use of the spectral affixer is to bind to ghost characteristics. The primary use of the spectral affixer is to bind to ghost characteristics. A characteristic is defined as an evidence type in the highest recorded level of that evidence. During an investigation, you may encounter the primary use of the spectral affixer is to bind to ghost characteristics. A characteristic is defined as an evidence type in the highest recorded level of that evidence. During an investigation, you may encounter various evidence levels. However, we only care about the highest levels. Once you feel that you've determined the correct characteristics, you can enter them into the affixer. If enough characteristics are entered correctly, and the affixer is in the ghost's favorite room, the scan should succeed. Although, if The primary use of the spectral affixer is to bind to ghost characteristics. A characteristic is defined as an The primary use of the spectral affixer is to bind to ghost characteristics. The primary use of the spectral affixer is to bind to ghost characteristics. A characteristic is defined as an evidence type in the highest recorded level of that evidence. During an investigation, the primary use of the spectral affixer is to bind to ghost characteristics. A characteristic is defined as an evidence type in the highest